Well, here we go. It is the qualifier. Whoever wins this one goes straight to the finals to face the Nutmeg Warriors. The Cinnamon Pacers are here. The Clove Challengers are here. The match referee is here. Let's have the toss.
Head is the call.
All right, Roland, you won the toss. Tell us your decision.
We're going to have a field first.
Okay, you seem to be in a good vein of form there. With the ball, I've been, really doing well. What sort of total do you think you can restrict the Cinnamon Pacers to today?
We're looking to restrict them anything under 100. I think the wicket is playing fairly good still, a little bit on the slow side, but good enough.
All right, any changes to your squad?
No, we played the same squad from last game.
All right, thank you very much and good luck in this contest.
All right, thank you.
All right, here comes the Cinnamon Pacers captain, Ryan. Another toss and a decision where you will be batting first. We've seen your last 3 games you batting first. The last 2 games you batting first and posting some really good totals. What do we expect today?
Yeah, having won the toss, we'd have batted again. We believe in scoreboard pressure, and our team have been doing very well for the past 2 games. So it's just about being consistent and coming and hope that we could click today again.
All right, we saw a number of your batters really getting into the scoring. Young Cavon and we saw Williams earlier. What's in store?
As I said earlier, it's a full team effort, not to single out anybody. We play as a unit and we expect anybody to take up the mantle at any point in the game. So let's see who it is today.
All right, any changes to your squad?
No, same team.
All right, well, good luck to you and let's see how you would end today's qualifier.
Thank you very much.
So that was the toss. And so we're going to head straight back up and get ready for ball 1 in this very important contest in the Dream 11 Spiceisle T10 qualifier.
And welcome back here at the Lasser Just Plain Field for the second of the doubleheader encounter here in this, of course, Dream 11 Spiceisle T10 tournament. Cinnamon Pacers are going to be coming up against Clove Challengers, and that should be a very interesting match indeed. The players are already up there, and the umpires are already up there, and the play is set and just about to begin for Cinnamon Pacers. Nicosi St. Hilaire and Daniel Williams will be, of course, opening, and it seems as Aston Jackson will be the bowler. So should be a lovely encounter. Just waiting for that 2:30 moment to arrive, and the match is going to be officially underway. So St. Hilaire will be taking strike. A pretty decent tournament. And here is Jackson looking to dabble outside the off stump. Short rising delivery. Beautiful, pristine, ethereal conditions here at the Lasser playing field. Rather bright and sunny. And ideal playing conditions. Raphael Crony, good afternoon. Oh, it's you, Justin Hector. Raphael just slipped away. Hey, Justin. Here's Jackson to St. Hilaire. And looking to pull, the ball takes the outer portion of the bat and will go down to third man for 4. That's not where he intended it to go. But that was short. It might have hustled him a bit and went down to the third man boundary, but he was certainly looking to hit that over the mid-wicket area.
Yes, and probably not a great piece of fielding too by Dubisset there in the short third man. The ball was hit hard into the ground and it bounced down towards. He came across and he couldn't stop it and it went away for 4, but I think anything will do.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
Should have been a better effort there. And when you're on the field, Justin, you've got to anticipate. You've got to say every ball can be coming in my direction. In the air, hit down to the long on area. It's going to go close to the boundary. It dribbles over now, and that's 4. Now the mid-on is up, and he was looking to clear the mid-on fielder. He did that, and then the fielder had to run back did so. But by then, there was sufficient power attached to that ball, ran over the boundary line, and that's 2 consecutive fours in the first over.
Well, that's when you have to make hay when the field is in. It's still in the power play.
And you've got to make hay when the sun shines.
Yeah.
Well done, Justin. Well done. Well done. Here's Jackson again. To bowl to St. Hilaire. And short rising delivery. And looking to pull. He is in an absolutely aggressive frame of mind. There's no question about that.
Well, the fact that he's at the top of the tree, basically, in run scoring so far, in the tournament, there is all good reason to think that, or to know that, that type of approach is what would have had him there. There's no reason to think that he should change that. We just umpire just seeking some clarity there and something.
I think he was concerned about the height, maybe. And waiting to see what the third eye would suggest in regards to the height.
We didn't hear an appeal. We did pass close to bat and glove.
So just a little hole up here. Just looking for confirmation, I would think.
I think all is well now.
No ball.
No ball. In fact, that is
Yes.
what was being checked out.
Yes. So it's going to be a free hit. Jackson bowler, no ball.
Yes, one can see just that little white line just behind the booth. And even so, remember the line belongs to the umpire.
Yeah, you're right. Jackson, St. Hilaire, and pacey delivery. Looking to pull that through mid-wicket again. We saw in the tournament so far, Justin, those deliveries that are short and outside the off stump, the batsmen who have got under it and lifted it over the third man area, those were effective rather than trying to get inside the line to pull through mid-wicket.
Yes.
Use the pace. Jackson again. And this time he is pulling that down to the deep backward square area. Maybe a little too square. Got a single. So total has now gone into the double figures. 10. 1 delivery to go. So this is a very interesting over. Every delivery was treated with aggressive intent.
And of course, this is a very, very, very important match. And a very important match for both these teams. Yeah. One of them, I think, of course, will only right to challenge the Ginger Warriors.
Yeah, here's a shot that didn't really play with any great sense of conviction. That's Williams. The end of the over. First over going 10 runs coming off the first. I think Jackson would be happy with it. Good comeback because he was struck for a couple of boundaries, consecutive boundaries, but came back pretty well.
Indeed, he was. And if you go for 10, I think you will feel that is not too bad. You can take that in at T10.
And there was a no ball, remember that?
Indeed.
Yeah. So, yeah, he could go with that. So, modest start by Cinnamon Pacers. Dubisset is going to be taking up the bowling from the far end. And he's going to be preparing to bowl to St. Hilaire. St. Hilaire is 9 of 6.
Was this rivalry between teammates continue?
Yeah. Yeah, when of course you know each other, there is fraternity involved, but then comes the time when you play for different franchises, different teams, so to speak, to be set. St. Hilaire. And he pulls that out to mid-wicket. Thought about a single, decided against it. Well, I think Danny Williams was saying to him, no, go back. But Nicosi Saint-Hilaire was intent on going for that single. The ball was hit hard, so he traveled rather quickly. And I think Daniel Williams assessed it, maybe rightly too, that it was traveling rather quickly, though it was to the right of mid-wicket.
He would have seen to that Darren Ned that was there.
Off the back foot and slashes hard. Fine shot, really fine shot. Just went onto the back foot. And boy, he hit that really hard, spanked it through extra cover. And it went for 4 like a bullet from a gun. Oh, that was hit hard.
Looking at that, I didn't remember whether I slept last night because I saw so much of that yesterday from the Sayed batsman that it's just a continuation. It's almost like I haven't left the ground yesterday.
Boy, there was some disdain and contempt about it. He didn't think about caressing and being poetic. No, bludgeoned. Used all the shoulders and muscles. And then he got it from the middle of the bat. So, Saint-Hilaire has gone to 13 of 8. He is in a blustery mood. Aggressive.
One has to say he's been in that type of mode for throughout the duration of the tournament. When he's made runs, he's really made them at a brief pace and lots of strokes like those. Just pulling away and blasting it over the offside. And
it's also interesting because I remember in his earlier days, of course, back then there wasn't 10-10 cricket or 20-20 cricket for that matter. Yeah, there was, but not so prolific. So he was the kind of player that was just steady and played everything on merit. Things have changed. The game has evolved to be set to Saint-Hilaire. And he's onto the back foot and lifts that. That's gone for a Carib power hit maximum. Short, onto the back foot, just swiveled nicely. And he got good beefy bat to that and lifted it handsomely in a rather regal, spectacular manner over the deep backward square, verging on long on. And it went all the way for 6. Let's pick it up again. Yeah, bat delivery, slanting down the leg side. And he went with the tide. Fine shot all the way for 6.
yeah, of course, there is no one on the deep mid-wicket boundary. It was as safe as the Rasta says, Selassie briefcase. Very safe indeed. And you don't bowl Nkosi there in that area. Especially early in his innings, he will take full advantage of those into the leg.
Yeah, I don't know if it really mattered whether it was after 5 or 6 overs, really. He certainly was into hitting it hard. That delivery struck down to the deep extra cover. It was airborne for some time, dropping before getting to that fielder down at long off. Charles is standing up behind the stumps, trying to put pressure onto the batsman. But we haven't seen them, Justin, advancing down the track.
Not too many times.
So one wonders about that ploy, whether it is the best. If you get a fast delivery that is slanting down the leg side, then you may have leg buys or buys, as the case may be, wides outside the leg stump and hit down to a backward square. Let's see if the umpire would signal yes, came off the pad and they scampered the single. So leg buys into over number 2. It's 22 without loss. Been really some big shot efforts, particularly by Saint-Hilaire. There's Dubisset, none for 11, coming up with what should be his final delivery in this over. He's in, and but he was looking to pull that down to backward square. Not sure whether he was struck. You think he was struck?
No, he wasn't struck. I think he may have pulled a muscle, the effort which he put into that. He may have pulled something slightly because he really had a wallop at it. And I think that's the reason why Charles has gone up to the stumps, because momentum, after swinging so hard, sometimes momentum can just draw you out of your crease. We saw an incident yesterday with Hazard where he was, whether it's stumped, yes, but you know, in momentum as he came down, he walked out, he walked forward, and there he was, being stumped by the wicketkeeper. So I think there is a reason why Charles chose to come up to the stump. And it's not for the first time in the tournament we've seen Charles coming up to the stumps.
Swinging and missing. So Jackson into his second. Bowling to Daniel Williams, who has had the least of lesser of the strike. Saint-Hilaire has faced 11 while he has faced only 3. And he doesn't necessarily have to do it as Saint-Hilaire does. This one is lifted down to the mid-wicket area and they get a single. So when you've got a batsman, Justin, who is really traveling and belting it all over the place, your partner doesn't have to try to outdo you or to catch up.
Not at all. He doesn't have to.
Jackson to bowl to Saint-Hilaire this time. Oh, looking to pull. And that one hit him in the stomach.
Well, not a little lower than that. Just probably
south of the border?
South of the border, where there's no defense and no... I can't remember too many times that the physio would go out when you're struck in those areas. There's nothing the physio can do for you when you're struck in those areas. There's nothing you can apply. Yes, except time and you got to stretch it out.
Yeah, I just got to wait on time to do the healing.
Yeah.
Boy,
can it be like the old Silver Fox movies where you can change the positions of that part of the anatomy? And again, shock.
Don't tell me he's been hit there again. Now, that would be highly ironic. Don't tell me that he was struck there again. So let's see. It looks a little lower this time.
Yeah, but it's really not funny. I mean, we may have a laugh at it, but it's really not funny. And you know what it's like to be struck in that general area.
Trust me. Yeah. Inside the thigh can hurt. And of course, south of the border hurts the most. I can tell you that. Here's Jackson.
I hope the kids understand that language that or that description that you use.
In English literature, it's called euphemism. Yes. Well, it's part of the anatomy where the penile structure is. So if that would help the kids to understand, well, let's hope that helps to define it. Right?
Not like when we were growing up, patois was spoken and there was not an alternative.
Hits it in the air, somebody's going under it, with the catch be taken, gone. Ned takes the catch. Well, he may have been ruffled a bit with those couple of blows that he got. That's Saint-Hilaire. It was dropped short in, not very, very short by Jackson, and he was looking to pull. Didn't cue it all that well. The ball went up in the air, and Ned came around from mid-off, ran to mid-on, took the catch. And so Saint-Hilaire has gone. It's a breezy 20 of 14. But I just get the impression that those 2 knocks on the anatomy may have just undone him a bit.
Well, either that or he really couldn't rotate strike. He was stuck there. Only one run would have come from the over, and he was stuck there. And no surprise, you don't want the bowler to be bowling 3-4 deliveries to you, really consecutively. And as a result, he didn't get out of the end. He was out.
Yeah, well, Ranjan has come out. Your thoughts about him batting the number 3 now?
Yeah, I think he's the top player. Well, anyway you look at it, he's the best player in the team, and you need to use most of the deliveries. Get a chance to bat most of the deliveries. And John, the captain, of course, and the most celebrated and known player on the Pacers team. Of course, former West Indies under 19 Youth World Cup representative player. If my memory serves me right, I think he did win the World Cup with the West Indies under 19s.
Yes.
So does have a wealth of experience behind him.
And of course, you've got a wealth of memory also. Well done, Justin.
Yeah. It's nice to see that era of players. Most of those guys will have gone on to be involved somewhere in the senior setup in West Indies cricket at this point.
Yeah, that's correct. And players like Hetma, it's gone on, Casey Carty. There is Murray. Bowls outside the off stump. And driven, they will come back for the second run quite comfortably. Just seemed to have been a bit of hesitancy in coming back for the second, but they did in the end.
Hazard down there, who is probably not more accustomed to be behind the stump, had a few tumbles, but indeed. And again, this period is another key period for the match with Cut Murray, who have picked up wickets on regular occasions. And I think the Cinnamon Pacers will be well aware of that.
Yeah, but he's got to be tidy here, Cut Murray. It's 2 deliveries that he's faced. It's been pretty okay so far. He's young, inexperienced, but he's going to be learning every day. And he's got passion for the game. He's got a good cricketing head too. Those are combined factors that should allow him to do very well as time goes on. Oh, that was a good delivery. That one must have kept a little bit low and must have gone on with the arm too.
He's very deceptive. He changes his pace nicely, Cut Murray. And of course, he's bowling at a very crucial time, at a time when the rate is not very high. The team is under pressure, and just getting a slight inside edge onto it.
Yeah,
probably
well
would have
bowled.
been struck outside the off stump too.
Good over. This has been a good over so far.
Well, it has been 2 very good overs. 2 very good overs. The last, only a single came off. 3 runs came off it.
This is very good by the young man. This time he is diving effort
he
there.
didn't catch that.
No, he didn't.
Well,
I can't believe this is absolutely incredible. I thought it was just a diving effort, maybe just trying to ensure that the ball did not go past him. That is an absolutely amazing catch. Was it Ned?
It looked like Andrew.
Oh my golly. I wish I could see this entire thing.
Well, look at it.
Oh my golly. What a catch. What a catch. What an outstanding catch that. Oh, we've seen a few stunners, but that's got to go down as one of the best. Yeah. Ned, I think.
Ned, probably. Let's see.
Yeah, Ned took it.
No. Wow.
This is absolutely amazing. Look at a catch. And he never looked like dropping it. Gosh, I can see this for the rest of the afternoon, and that would suffice me. What a wonderful catch. Superb. John T. Rhodes would be proud about this. Look at it again, folk. It was traveling, and then he had to hurl himself to his left and pulled off an absolute stunner. Ned, you are brilliant.
As they say, you're a beauty.
Oh,
Well, he had no right. He had no right to catch that. Probably. But I mean, you've defiled all gravity.
sorry, Regis. We didn't pay much attention to your entrance to the wicket. And apology about that. But Chandler Regis has just just coming in. Really, I'm still blinking in disbelief. What a stunner. It's got to go down. Now, don't forget Kotoi's own.
Yes, it's,
Brilliant.
well, it made Kotoi catch. Look like what? How can I term it?
No, if you do that, it'll be unfair to Kotoi. Really. It was such a great catch, both of them.
Well, certainly this cancelled the catch by Kotoi. It really cancelled it. And
Look at this.
Look at it again.
Look at it. Look at the diving effort.
Ooh. Goalkeeper Banks.
Ah,
Goalkeeper Banks would have been proud of that.
yes. Gordon Banks, former England goalkeeper, was the world's best at one time. Anyhow, let's get back to what's live there. Oh, it has even brought a little bit of perspiration on my forehead. Here is a delivery that John opens the face of the bat and glides it down in a rather skillful manner down to third man and gets a run. So Joseph now hailed into the attack. Boy, oh boy.
I just mentioned the fact that Murray has a knack for taking wickets and immediately got, and that was a huge wicket, you know.
Yes, it was. It really was. Because he was going to be playing something like the anchor.
Look, the scoring rate now has certainly gone down. It has gone down to 6.72. So a projected score of somewhere in the 60s. Once again, the Clove challengers have laying down the challenge to the Cinnamon Pacers.
Yeah. Boy, this is...
I wonder if Darren had ever tried a triple jump. I don't know if...
Yeah, he's a natural athlete, isn't he?
Oh, and that is problems. Well, John is in trouble. The keeper has gone for it and is taking it easy. And what a huge wicket.
Yes. Well, from the moment he hit it, he knew that he was going to be in trouble and began to walk back to the pavilion. And so, I don't know, he's remonstrating over there.
What is it? He tried to flick the ball. The ball came off the toe end of the bat.
Maybe he was just trying to be a little bit too cute about that. Anyway, the catch has been taken by the keeper. And so Ryan John goes, caught by Charles. Of the bowling of Joseph, he's gone for two. And the Cinnamon Pacers, they're in deep trouble here, 29 for 3.
Well, maybe after Bartholomew would have batted so well yesterday, probably there was a temptation to have him in early today again, but that wasn't to be. John would have came out before him today. And one doesn't know what the challenge was about.
So 29 for 3, we're in over number 5. And what looked after the second over as though it'll be a challenge in total, maybe up to 100 plus, now seem a little bit more dismal. At 29 for 3 after 4.3 overs.
And lots of, well, some inexperience in there. now with Bartholomew and of course Chandel Regis. Well, today has to be his day.
It better be.
He hasn't had much going for him in the tournament so far. And if there is ever a time they needed him, is now.
Kavon Bartholomew taking strike. And he hits that down to third man for 4. Not where he wanted to go. But they tell you, of course, if you're going to flash at it, you got to flash hard. And he certainly did that. Flashed hard at it, took the outer portion, and went down to third man very quickly for 4. So he's off the mark immediately. 4 runs off his first ball.
Well, I think you would know because Darren Ned, I think you would know that Darren Ned was down there. Doobie said that was there. So, but that's bravery. His first ball short and he did threw everything at it. They said yesterday he batted really well.
Yeah, those guys are going after the short balls. Either uppercutting or pulling it, inside out. Sorry, not inside out, but getting inside the line and pulling it maybe through mid-wicket or forward square. But I love to see what they've been doing, some of the batsmen, and that is uppercutting it down to third man.
Was that one over the shoulder too? I think it's one of the things they're looking at. It was relatively high, so probably just to see whether it has gone over the shoulder.
Yeah, these guys are going to be...
In fact, it's no ball. It's a no ball. Or Ryan Charles would have hoped that that would have been the case with him. No ball. Indeed a no ball, and a fairly big one.
Yeah. No part of the
and that's the
foot
one
was behind the crease.
You look at no balls like that, Pastor, and you do have a feeling that the standing umpires could call it. Maybe not depend so much on the what I want to call
third
it.
umpire.
Yes.
Yeah, but sometimes
or the technology.
Yeah,
because
sometimes Justin, though the margin is so short, so to speak, that you just need technology to come in there and help you with it. The naked eyes don't always pick that up. I imagine how many no balls you may have had before technology came. But I tell you, there's some things that have changed. We're going to come back to that here. Joseph bowls, and Reggie just opens the face of the bat and glides her down to third man, and we'll come back for the second run.
So
the umpires in the past, Justin, used to crouch very low for every ball, and they were peering down. They would look down at where the bowler would be landing, and then have to look up. In the air, over. Oh no! Another stunner! Another stunner! I can't believe this one. Look, if you listen to me, you hear me saying over, meaning that it was going over his head. But quite frankly, pull that ball out of the air. That's absolutely spectacular. Murray, take a bow. Now look at this. I said over, meaning that it was going over his head, and it certainly was. Timed the jump well, plucked it out of the air, fell down with his left hand. Of course, the ball was in the left hand.
Of course, he's left-handed too.
Oh my golly. And still kept it in his grasp, didn't allow it to fall out. Look at this, folk. Look at this. Great.
Well, the ball had passed him already. Wow.
Absolutely marvelous. 5 overs gone. It's 37 for 4. I love it. Trust me, I love it. I absolutely love it.
We've seen a few catches go down. Maybe if the last 2 catches we've seen had gone down, we'd have said, well, okay, they're very difficult catches. But where do you find superlatives to describe things like that?
And when Murray got up, there was a huge grin on his face,
Yes.
as if to say, "I did this. This wasn't that all that hard, was it, folk?" It was.
Well. Well,
You know, Justin, it's just a pity that we didn't have maybe a couple of hundreds of spectators here to look at this. But gee whiz, folk, if you're in TV land, wherever, please come look at this. We still have what should be a great finals on tomorrow, God willing. So let's make it a duty, and let's make it something interesting.
yes, Murray with the ball. So, one spectacular catch by Ned and another by Murray. I hope Asif Hooper and the rest are mindful that Darren Ned is down there. Well.
All I can say, folk, is that I'm just pleased to be part of this, just to describe it. Hope we did a good enough job. But quite frankly, we saw 2 stunners today. Will we see a third? Asif Hooper.
Yes.
They will come back for the second. Well, Hooper was interested. However, Bartholomew wasn't. Just turned his back on him as if to say, no, one is sufficient. We won't risk it because we're already 39 for 4.
Pastor, I was a bit concerned about you, I don't know how much more the heart can take.
Okay, I'm going to take a peep at my smartwatch shortly and see what the BPM is saying. Field will change over for the left-handed Asif Hooper.
Well, even oh, Hooper launch it in the air again. Is there another catch out there? It is. Hooper goes. Well. What is going on here with the cinnamon Pacers? Nothing seemed to be going beyond the boundary. Nothing seemed to be dropping. Everything just seemed to be dropping into the buckets of the Clove challengers.
And they have accepted them rather gleefully.
Rogers on this occasion taking a good catch down on the boundary. And, well.
You were asking about my
yes.
heart rate, my beat per minute, so it's at 78 now.
All right.
That's
normal.
not bad, is it?
That's normal. No, it's good. It's okay. So it's 77. No, it's good. When there is a storm out there, you talk about the barometric pressure.
Yes.
Well, it's probably what? Above normal out there. I don't know if above normal is bad. I don't know if above normal is good. It can't be below normal out there.
Oh, my God. Well, what a match we're having on hand. It's 40 for 5. The score is a sorry sight, admittedly. But there have been so much to cheer about and so many outstanding things that have happened in this brief match so far. We have seen 36 minutes of drama. I mean, real drama, folk. Here is a delivery that is not cute as well as
Tugged down to see,
Yeah.
down to wide mid wicket.
yeah, and that's not where he really wanted it to go, but got a single though.
But that's interesting, the 2 brothers there, Cutson to Cut. Those 2 were playing cricket for even inside the room, on top of the bed, from the time they were little babies.
I reckon it'll be interesting and fascinating to hear their stories, of course, and how much
They
they
were,
have influenced each other.
yes, and they were breaking up all the cabinet glasses inside, throwing everything down from the time they were babies. playing cricket, you know.
Who knows?
Yes, I think an insider hinted me that some time
Oh,
ago. That,
really?
yes, that they were playing this, doing this thing from the time they were babies. So,
Oh, they must have annoyed their parents,
well,
you know, and put their parents in some measure of expense too.
yes, but I think today you see the benefit of it.
Yeah, I'll give you a little story. I'll give you a little story. It's not cricket related, but I remember having my first computer, and my son was always into that computer, and I had to bring it to the repairman almost every week. And I really was upset, and I in fact instructed him not to touch that computer again. Oh, that's to the non-strikers in.
Oh.
Careful, got back there. Yeah, so I told him don't ever touch the computer anymore, because had to be bringing it to the repairman too very often. And the repairman, whenever I would bring it to him, said, "Oh, is it that your son has tampered with it again?" And I said, "Yes." And then he said to me, "Mr. Worm, could it be that your son might turn out to be a computer technician?"
Yes.
Never thought about it.
And I guess
he turned
today
out
that's
to be.
under tuition, yeah?
Absolutely. One of the best around.
All right.
They got to start somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah. And they give early signs.
They do.
Yeah. Oh, easy. Way too easy, Cotton Murray. And a little bit disappointed there, Bartholomew. Probably saying to him, why did you do that? We still have a long way to go, 41 for 5.
Yeah, just wondered whether there was much need in seeking to be so aggressive at this point. Now, you've lost.
Well, look at wonder what Cott is saying to him now. They're both walking side by side. Probably apologizing to Cott. Cott Mully said, "You never did that against me." Or we never talk about doing it that way. Look at them walking out side by side.
Yeah, interesting.
Still having a little conversation. One has to be admonished by the other. I don't know which is the elder, which is the bigger of the two, which is the elder of the two. It's Cotson, yes. Yeah. So he's probably saying to his little brother, "Well, I'm sorry."
Duncan comes out to join Bartholomew. Joseph has picked up 3 for 10.
Yes. Has made his mark.
But when you're 41 for 6 into the 7th, from here you want to preserve wickets, and you'd want to just try to ensure that you're not dismissed before the 10 overs are passed.
Because every run from here is vital. No, young man.
They'll get the single now, though. Bit of an overthrow.
And one can see that the Clove Blasters are really up for this. The Clove Challengers are really up for this. Well, they look like Blasters this evening, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Clove Challengers, of course. They're well into this.
They've played aggressive. The fielding has been spectacular. They must be proud about themselves. Here is Joseph to Bartholomew.
Superb shot.
Well, he just made a few steps down the ground and saw that it was going to scurry to the boundary. And although the non-striker, Duncan, was running, coming up.
Just going down on the knee and smashing it between cover and extra cover.
Yeah, that was an extraordinary shot, wasn't it?
Don't really want to see much better. But that's the perfect punctuation mark to put to all that have been happening this morning.
Having a big swish at that one. It doesn't make contact. Charles collects behind the stumps.
All of that, all the time all this is going on, Bartholomew has moved to 11 from 7. Of Of course, Che Duncan was just come in, and Sheldon Joseph, and I have to say the temperamental Sheldon Joseph has been the pick of the bowlers so far.
Yeah, he's done well.
That's wishful. Looking to come down the track to Joseph. The loud appeal for a run out.
Yeah, the keeper missed it.
Yes, maybe
Saw
they'll
the
send that upstairs, I'm sure.
Saw the opportunity for the single, and the batsman did in fact scamper. I think they're just waiting to see whether there might have been a run out. Don't know, so we'll just hang on a bit. There is, in fact, technology on hand. So the bails were off. Was he late in getting there?
Signal by.
Right. So he's safe, isn't he?
He's safe.
Yes, safe. So Joseph has completed 3 for 15. Great bowling spell.
Yeah, we see some, well, some tremendous catching. I think this is the first thing that really caught my eyes. Catching at the highest level.
Yes, really. Quite spectacular. And that's the reason why Cinnamon Pacers are 47 for 6.
Yeah, we see a more focused Clove challengers. They went down yesterday losing to Nutmeg Warriors and certainly would have hurt them. And you could see they come out with a purpose. You could hear even from the background the support coming from the players' pavilion. They seem intent to want to really turn it around in a big way.
Yes. 2 great catches, really. Ned and Murray. Among the top draws.
Yeah, the catch taken by Ned. That would probably have to be our feature.
I think so, really. Murray's own. That's in the air. They will, in fact, take the single. Yeah, but I like also Murray's own because it was going back. He was going back. And it looked as though it was going to clear him. And then lifted up the left hand, plucked it out of the air, fell over, and kept it in his grasp. Down the leg side, wide signal by the umpire.
It would be nice if we can see those catches again because it's such of high quality. That is something that persons will really want to see, will be eager to see, such of a high level.
Yes.
You don't often see catches of those magnitude, but really it was really tremendous catches.
Net to Duncan. Duncan is hitting that, almost decapitating the non-striker, just having to get out the way. They got a single, dunk to wide long on. Yeah, I feel rather fulfilled after having looked at those 2 catches. I can go home after the game and feel that I've enjoyed a cricket match.
Yeah, pleasing to the eyes.
White signal by the umpire. Net guilty of slanting down the leg side. But I'm sure the Pacers would be very disappointed with their total now, which is 51 for 6 in over number 8. You couldn't tell that it would be like that because Williams and St. Hilaire, they seemed intent on getting off to a rousing start and a big total. Picks
Yeah.
that one up and pulls it down to the long on area. We'll get a single. Might have been a slow ball too.
Yeah, actually, the start of the Battle of Cinnamon Pieces really, as you rightly said, does not didn't indicate that they were in any difficulty. And St. Hilaire, as usual, started well. He's actually the highest run scorer of the tournament, and just bordering and probably the most sixes. He was second. I think he hit 2 sixes in his inning, and if he hit 2 sixes, he probably would have now taken the lead in terms of hitting 27 sixes. But he started well, and certainly they looked really as though they were in command at the start of the inning.
Just 1 6 he hit today.
So he
3
probably would
fours.
have tied with 26 sixes that has been hit by Charles.
Net. It's that. They're not going to come back for the second. Ball going down to the deep, long off area. So they're under a lot of pressure here, Cinnamon Pacers. We're in over number 8. So just 13 legal deliveries remaining. Ned again. This time to Bartholomew. And he gets on that at one and lift it. And he hit that with a great deal of confidence. That's gone all the way over the widest long on area. 6 runs. That was a great hit. And
good short ball, pitched up, just opening himself a bit and hitting it over where extra cover would have been.
widest long off rather. Yeah. And hit it well. After he hit it, he just turned his back because he knew that it was going to go all the way. So the fans have come out to, of course, back their favorite teams. And there's some of them that have come practically every day to look at the performances of. And there's some of them who are coming, of course, no particular team backing, so to speak, but just want to come and enjoy a good cricket game or games.
Yeah, and such an important game for both teams. The winner of this game will meet Nutmeg Warriors in the final. So it's all to play for here. Losing team. But probably fair to say that at this point in time, Clove Challengers probably in a more advantageous position.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. But you know this game of cricket, Raphael.
Runs on the board. It's runs on the board.
Doesn't take long for things to change in this game called cricket. 60 for 6. 8 overs gone. We're going into the 9th. Rogers has bowled him. That's what it looks like from here. But he doesn't seem to be going anywhere.
Yeah, good delivery by Rogers. Again, the leg spinner going away from the batsman there, Duncan, looking to swing. Still walking out slowly.
Yeah, it's a stumping rather than being bowled. So that's the reason why he's delayed, he's waited, because there's going to be confirmation as to whether that back foot was planted. Oh, yeah, it's been confirmed that the back foot was not grounded. So another wicket has fallen. Duncan has gone for 3 or 4, and Cinnamon Pacers, they're now 64-7.
Yeah, Rogers picking up a wicket in his first delivery Coming into the ninth over, Duncan looking to push on, maybe trying to see how much he can get. Certainly, yeah.
Yeah, he knew he was off in a flash, Samuel Charles, after taking up the bail. Didn't come up too early, Rafael. It's one of the things you've got to...
Yeah, and actually the ball bounced a bit, so he had to get it and quickly get it down to the stumps. But you can see Duncan there as he looked to drive. You know, the toes, probably the heel probably might have been over, not touching. But obviously you had to be inside.
New batsman is Ricardo Murray. Another stumping effort in the back, behind the stumps there by Charles. This time the batsman safely planted. Ricardo Murray. Just an over and 4 balls remaining.
Yes, so was right. Sinclair would have joined Charles. They both had 26 sixes in the tournament. Tremendous hit in Darren Edwards was 24, but he will have to bat. So probably might be a race to see who hit the most sixes in the tournament between these 3 players.
Yeah.
Well, so it's...
Yeah. And all of whom are fine strikers of the ball. So it's not surprising that they're among the top 6 hitters. They love to go big. Well, another wicket has gone. Another one gone. Rogers just flighting that one. And just looking to confirm the mode of dismissal there.
Yeah, leg before swinging right across this one there. Looking to hit right across it.
Yeah. So 61 for 8. And talking about big hitting, Rafael, I don't know if you saw the highlight of the West Indies innings against Ireland, the second one day. Matthew Ford's innings. So tied world record with A.B. de Villiers. Did you get a chance to see it?
No, I didn't get a chance to see it, but I heard, just heard about it.
Oh, what a pity.
19 deliveries.
Oh, I think it was
Well,
16.
you were 15, 16.
16 deliveries.
16, yeah? But he actually faced 19.
Boy.
Overall 19 deliveries.
He clobbered. And they were not slogged, really. Good fine hitting. So, Gerard Noel has come out. 61 for 8. Here's Rogers. Comes forward, turns it up on the onside. The bowler runs across to his right. They get a single. So, good over, of course, by Rogers. You can't want a better spell than that. He's picked up 2. And Simon Pacers 62 for 8 after 9.
Yeah, Clove challenge in a very commanding position. Rogers picking up 2 for 2 in his first over. 62 for 8 after 9 overs. And really, it's not the start I think Cinnamon Peters were hoping for. But as we said, this game of glorious uncertainties runs on the board. We saw earlier in the tournament, 78 was a winning score. Team, I think it was the Ginger Generals, failing to get up to 79 for victory. So anything can happen, but one would think with the quality of batting that Clove challengers have, one would expect that is a sort of total that they would really be pleased about.
Yeah, 62 for 8, 9 overs gone. There's just a 1 over remaining.
I've just seen Jaron Noel, they just seem to pull up a bit after that run. Just holding the tie. Probably just one hope is not too serious, just the last over. And he's obviously one of the main bowlers off spin.
Yeah. So he's all right. Just need to flex it a bit. So Ned is going to continue. None for 13, but he's a good finisher. I think that's the reason they're putting the ball in his hand.
Well, he's a good all-round cricketer from from all angles. He's so vital to any team.
Ned to Noel, looking to pull that. Ball going behind the leaping keeper. And they came back for the second, didn't they?
Yeah, coming back for the second day, and really, now we see Geronimo pulled up there because he really had to chase back. It was a short delivery, and seemingly came off the gloves and really it over the keeper. And it was a good stop by the fielder that looked like that fielder in short fine leg. He was able to back up there from the keeper. But once again, we see Noel just seemed to be grimacing in pain as he completed that second run. Here, hit down to backward point for 4. Lovely shot. Short delivery. It was really a poor delivery by Ned Day. And Noel had no difficulty in hitting it square for 4.
You must be disappointed, Ned, with that. But and not taking away anything from the shot because it was well spanned. Hit hard. From the moment it left the bat, there was 4 written all over it. Lovely use of leather, or rather willow against leather.
Bowled him. Kane, but a fuss of delivery probably should just stay down a little bit. But Noel, they're looking probably to play on the onside. Let's see. Cut back in actually. As he was looking to hit down again. Repeat the shot down to backward point and crashing into the stumps.
Yeah, had him all cramped. Well bowled. Ball jagged back into the right-handed batsman. And pushing back the middle stump. So Cinnamon Pacers, they plunge into deeper trouble, into the morass of struggle. At 68 for 9, 3 legal deliveries remaining in the innings.
It has been a good all-round performance by the Clove challengers. I think the feeling was of probably a high degree. Really good feeling. Catching in particular.
Yeah. They didn't seem to let anything go by. Unblemished, unmarred, unspoiled. Great efforts in the field. Here is Ned moving into bowl to Jamal Francis. Last man up. Wide signal by the umpire, slanting down the leg side, and Charles had to move across smartly to his left. Ned would want to close off strong. He's 1 for 20.
So we can confirm that the most runs in the tournament so far, Nkosi St. Hilaire, he had 325. And the next person team is Dijon Charles, 243. Ned, 258. And Daniel Williams, 230. And these are the players who would have crossed 200. But Nicosi St. Hilaire continued to bat on in 10 innings. Not out 3 times, 325.
Yeah, so he's an average of about 32. Just looking at the body language of Francis, who doesn't seem to, I don't know, you just get the impression that he's quite enjoying himself out there. Maybe there isn't much to enjoy. He's faced a couple of deliveries. He's not scored as yet. Ned started and stopped. We'll have to go way back. Maybe he wasn't very comfortable with his rhythm. So 2 deliveries remaining in the Pacers innings. Ball was pushed back to the bowler, and the bowler had a shy as the batsman was attempting to go for a single. So that completes the over. Actually, it was 1 delivery to go, and when I said 2. So that completes the over, and 10 overs gone. I'm sure that Clove challengers would feel very happy with their performance, Refill.
Yeah, they will be very happy coming off that defeat in the previous game to be able to bowl that Cinnamon Pacers who have stepped up the game in the last 2 games they would have played. To bowl that team for 769, they will be very happy with the bowling performance.
Just realize that the run out did in fact occur of that final delivery. So 69 all out. There was 1 delivery remaining. Let's look at how it culminated. Pat back, and he was looking for the single. Ned got it, hurled the return, and did in fact hit the stumps before Francis could get back. So Cinnamon Pacers all out for 69 with 1 delivery remaining. Clove challengers, they need some 70 runs in 10 overs for a victory here.
Yeah, good bowling performance by the Clove challengers. Hassan Jackson in 2 overs, he had 1 for 11. Amical Dubisset 1 over, he had none for 11. Kurt Murray 2 overs, 2 for 8. Sheldon Joseph 2 overs, and he had 3 for 15. Darren Ned 1.5 over, 1 for 20. And Richard Rogers in 1 over. He also picked up 2 wickets for 4 runs. Really has been an good all-round bowling performance by
only
Clove challengers bowlers.
Sorry, Raphael. Only Amical Dubisset who didn't pick up a wicket. Nicosi St. Hilaire started off with a bang, had 20 of 15. The other 3 players that follow him, Daniel Williams, Ryan John, and Shondell Regis, didn't score heavily at all, 4, 2, and 3 respectively. But then there was a 19 from Kavan Bartholomew of 13 deliveries, 2 fours and 1 6. And the rest of the batting really a sorry sight. Only Ned got a 7 of 4. In the end, 69 all out, 69 of 9.5. It really was a dismal batting display with only 2 of the batters getting into double figures. All in all, though, it was a great performance by the Clove challengers, dismissing the Cinnamon Pacers for 69, Nicosi St. Hilaire 20, Kavan Bartholomew 13, and Jerome Noel scored 7. Those were the main contributors to Cinnamon Pacers. And of course, Sheldon Joseph picked up 3 for 15, 2 for 8 for Kurt Murray, and then Richard Rogers, who bowled very, very well indeed, and captured, in fact, 2 wickets for 2 runs of just a 1 over. So that's the match summary for Cinnamon Pacers versus Clove Challengers. And of course, when they come back, Clove Challengers, they will have to go after a total of 90 runs. So we're going to be there on hand to carry you through to witness this game and to also describe it. So we'll be right back for the run chase.
So we're just about starting the reply of Clove challengers. They would aim to get 70 for victory. See the batsman in Jackson just going out to the middle. We have seen so many different things happen in this game called cricket, even though it looked a very small score. But Cinnamon Pieces will be looking to take all the wickets if they're going to really seriously challenge bowling Clove challengers under the score. So Ryan John going to pick up the attack from the northern end. We have seen John in the last match that he played ball pretty quickly. Has the ability to also get the ball to bounce. And I think he will certainly be going all out to try to make all the inroads. Both Hassan Jackson and Samuel Charles, both national players, represented Grenada. And good first delivery, lifting and leaving the right-handed Jackson. They would be aiming for a good start for Clove challengers.
Get the ball to move both ways, into the right-hander, and can also get it to move away.
Played nicely down to the fielder on the boundary. That was well played by Jackson. Pitched up and he just turned the wrist on it and it kept it down. And the wrist down to the fielder on the backward square boundary.
Yeah, not a big total. The required run rate just 7.14. And in T20, that's just modest, really. Yeah, that was a bad shot there by Charles. Didn't get to the pitch of the ball, just stood there and flayed at it. And there was a little bit of movement away from the batsman.
Umpires Imran George. From Carriacou, the athletic Imran George. Good delivery. Leaving the right-handed Samuel. Bunks and good movements. Interestingly, Stevenson, after we have played so many cricket here, we still see the fast bowlers being able to get the ball to bounce.
Yes, good carry, which means that it's a good pitch. And you want all your bowlers to be able to get something out of it. Your spinners should be able to get a little bit of grip and turn. Fast bowlers should get a bit of bounce. So the preparation of both strips has been really good. I think he'd be a bit disappointed, Charles, with that. He gets his first run, yes, but it was a full toss that maybe could have hit anywhere. Was a bit tentative in the drive, but got a single up to mid-on.
Yes, I agree with you that. I would be a bit disappointed not to make more use of that full toss. Yeah, he struck it hard, but you see the timing was not there. And also the placement. What a tremendous delivery there. Taking the edge past the keeper and also the first slip.
Well, I think he got there, you know.
Yeah.
It would have been a spectacular catch had he taken it. Because it wasn't, Rayfield was further than a first slip. Look at where he is, into a second slip if you want to put it that way.
Yeah, good effort. Yeah, just about second slip, and I think he probably went too far, and that ball just passed on it. But really a valiant effort. Kane, I think what Jackson tried to do was to stay. His intention probably was to stay it fine, but probably not as close to the fielder. But again, good bowling by Ryan John in his first over.
Yes, kept it tidy. Except for that last delivery that went away for a boundary. Oh, they didn't quite go to the boundary, did it? Yeah, they got 3. Yes, it did go to the boundary. That's the only thing that marred the over. But by and large, it was a very good over indeed.
So the strike bowler in Asif Hooper. Ball clipped down to mid-wicket. Good stop there by John. As the ball was here, hit down to that long on area. Coming off the back foot and really was able to get enough power. And it just dropped between the two fielders. John.
Yes, just palming it back. Didn't go over, but ensuring that it didn't go over the boundary line and just palmed it from going over the boundary line. Good work by Ryan John. Great stuff. Those are the kind of efforts you want to see. So it's going to be interesting, Rayfield, to see what the approach is going to be like of the Clove challengers, whether they'll go with all guns blazing or just take their time and get over the victory line.
But I just want to swung and go over mid-wicket for the first Carib power hit, shortish in length. And quickly back on the back foot, the Haston Jackson, and lifting it over mid-wicket for 6.
Yeah, I like how he just got deep into the crease and how he was quick in doing that. And then the swing of the bat, which was also quick. Got it over the deep mid-wicket area. Fine shot it was.
Yeah, I was just about to make the point that you have to. There are 2 key bowlers that one has to look at from cinnamon pieces, and Hooper is one, and he's out bowled. Just about to make the point here.
Yeah, taking the top of the middle and off stump, it looks like.
So just about to make the point here that there are 2 bowlers that they need to look at, and one would think they would have to be very careful. Hooper, who have picked up some 7 wickets in the last 2 matches, and also Ryan John.
Yeah, or Hooper.
They have to aim to make sure that these bowlers are played out, and then look to take the advantage to the rest of the bowlers. And even before I would have said it, there was Jackson looking to hit across, looking to repeat the shot, a ball that was not short enough. And ball hitting the off stump.
Yeah, you've got to give respect to whom respect is due. And we were discussing as to what the attitude would be. And do you have to go with all guns blazing? And it's not necessary because it's a relatively small total that is being chased down. the challengers require 55 in 50. That's the equation, which should not be a difficult task. Just in over number 2, 1 for 15.
Yeah, so that just had to be positive, the right approach. You could afford to play ball on merit. Don't take undue risk.
Hooper to Cato. But he's such a fine bowler, Raphael. Is Hooper. Dependable.
Yeah, and he has come into his own, picking up Pfeiffer. And then I think he picked up 2 wickets yesterday. And almost going through the bat of Keto there.
End of the over. Fine over by Hooper. And picked up the important wicket of Jackson. And after 2 overs, Clove challengers, they're 15 for 1.
Yes, as we continue to see 69 is runs on the board, and still Clove challengers had to bat well, had to be, very cautious. Not because it's a small score, but 2, 3 early wickets can really turn things.
English women defeated West Indies women yesterday by 9 wickets, I think. West Indies women scored 89. And Haley Matthews didn't come off this time, and it shows there is a pattern that once she doesn't do very well, the West Indies don't do very well.
Yeah, which is really a major concern. We're looking at John in his second over. Tail up. And as I said, what you have to be careful is his second and final over. So you want to make sure that you stay there when he has completed his spell. Likewise, Hooper.
Yeah, so it's about being observant and calculative. It's about being astute. And you've got to be a good student of the game to read it well. See where the game is at. And in this case, where 2 of the top bowlers are bowling, you probably just want to see them off. But
well, he's out leg before. Full delivery. Seemed to have hit in front. And the appeal went up. And Clove challengers.
ooh,
Yeah, right up there. And yeah, being a judge leg before there. I think from the umpire's view, they probably would have hit leg stump. But another important blue really struck there. The wicket of Roland Cato.
wow.
This Cato, Samuels actually. Samuel being out the leg before.
It'd be interesting to see that again because
Samuel Charles.
your thoughts, Raphael.
Yeah, look pretty close. It looked pretty close. Maybe the angle probably might have just missed leg stump, but the umpire there, as we look at the angle, look at the angle. Yeah, hit. I think why you probably made a decision you hit on the back foot,
Yeah. Close.
which indicates that the ball does not have to travel too far.
Okay. All right, Raphael, I'll give you that one.
So Ned and Brian John, Cinnamon Pizza's really firing it in. John coming in the second over. And this is walking up some pace.
But his control has been much better than even previous innings that he's bowled.
Yeah, credit to the Cinnamon Pacers in that challengers have been able to get off to a fast start. We into the third over and it's just 16 for 2. Driven down to cover, taking it at mid-off. And that's a big blow. The Darren Ned ball pitched up and hit to mid-off, a wide mid-off. And the fielder coming around there and take a rather simple case, Murray. And what drama we have in there, 16 for 3.
Wow. Absolutely unbelievable. It was a delivery that was pitched up. And he came forward. That's Cato, and looking to drive, but he got under the ball. And John has picked up another scalp. Clove challengers. They're in serious trouble now. They're 16 for 3.
Yeah, John has picked up his second wicket. And Murray comes in, I think, which is a real good move. I see Murray comes in to join. Actually, Darren Ned is still there. And really it was key to that play that shot down to mid-off. So we said this game of glorious uncertainty. Now 16 for 3 and we still in the third over.
Yeah, you could see John was intent on putting pressure on the Clove challengers. And that's why, of course, he opened the bowling. Both he and Hooper. You know that Hooper would bowl well. There was little question about that. John to Murray. Yeah, good delivery. Really good delivery. Short and rising just outside the off stump. There's not much he could have done with that one, Murray. Let it go by. I think we've got a match on hand.
Yeah, we certainly has. A really good response from Cinnamon Pacers. Come out fighting. And it has been a good start.
There's John again.
Played nicely through covers. They're going to run close to the wrong. They'll probably pick up 2 here. That completes a really good spell by Ryan John. He had 2 for 9.
That was a good shot, though. It was a slow ball, and Murray drove it nicely through the extra cover area and was able to pick up 2. Slow delivery, yes, and driven nicely. Almost got to the boundary and picked up 2 valuable runs. So 3 overs gone. They're exactly 6 runs per over, and they need to score at 7.43. I don't think that that's the most challenging thing, really, in terms of the required run rate. But they've lost their top 3.
Yeah, I don't think they have a problem with the rate in terms of the wicket. And we have seen that from the previous game, in that they scoring very fast, challenge 132. And it really is the wickets they have been losing consistently or regularly to put extra pressure.
As if Hooper would be continuing to be bowling to Ned and Murray. They've got a huge task on their shoulders.
Once again, Darren Ned is in the mix.
Yeah, a lot depends upon him.
Played down to backward point. So they would want to see Hooper off. then probably they might be able to breathe a little lighter.
Yeah, 51 needed in 41 balls. So the match is interestingly perched. Can go either way.
Sometimes you think it's easy. A small score, one would think it's easy to be made, but that's not always the case.
Yeah, but you've got smaller total. Sometimes those smaller totals would inspire the fielding team, as if to say we don't have much to work with, so we've got to be very hard, we've got to be much more alert, we've got to be off the mark quickly. And maybe that's the situation there with Cinnamon Pacers. And they've done well so far. And then looking to go across the line, and then suggesting that he should have sought to hit that ball, or attempt to hit it much straighter.
Yeah, he would have played the right shot after ball has passed. Once again, hit down to deep cover. So they picked up 4 runs in the over. 3 runs in the over so far. 2 deliveries to go.
Yeah, the opening pair for Clove challengers, for Cinnamon Pacers rather, they've done a great job in Hooper and John.
I do Cutmore, you have this really calmness about him. He's a very good player, very orthodox player. Not going to do anything rash. And it's good to see that he has been sent on the bat number 5. Have that ability to steady things in the middle. We have seen him done it numerous occasions for the under 19 team, both at the parish level and also the senior, the under 19 tournament. So
Yeah.
he's a good
Good
foil
temperament.
for Darren Ed.
Yes, good temperament. Nice to see young players not panicking, but maintaining the composure and maintaining the nerves. They will come back for the second run. Bad miss there by the fielder at short mid-wicket. Really should not have been 1 in the first place. They got 2.
Yes, looking to rush the ball, and that's looking to rush into that ball there, and just didn't pick it up. That's caused some worry, and give the batsman the opportunity to pick up 2. To any extra run they can get now, really there was grass and would help. Yes.
Hooper after 2 is 1 for 16. Done pretty well. So the first 4 overs yielding 25, 3 wickets gone. And of course, they've seen, well, you can't really say that the Clove challengers have seen those 2 off, because they did some damage before they went off.
Yeah, I thought that they had a tremendous opening spell. Both bowlers. We see John rushing in, both some quick deliveries. You think about the first over, and that ball that just went to the left of what would have been maybe a second slip. And did both some really good deliveries in his first over. I think he beat the bat on a number of occasions. And come back in his second over and picking up an important wicket off K2.
Chiran Noel will be bowling from the far end. Would he keep this tight, or would there be a release of pressure? Let's see.
What a false shot there again, and what sort of shot that was? Came forward there and just looking to turn it. It's net there. Shot out of character. It just went over the bowler's head.
Somebody catch it. Somebody catch it. Come on, man.
That's Murray.
Somebody catch it.
Rather.
Catch it. All of them nervous. Every one of them.
44 needed in 35 deliveries.
Yeah, very interesting approach here. Again, Ned looking for the big one. Making no contact.
Just wondering how steady is the nerves might be out there, is Ned.
Well, that is what important is, nerves. Short ball swung, and that's going to clear the long on boundary for a maximum power hit.
Yeah, onto the back foot he went. It was a short delivery and lifted it over mid-wicket. And Regis, who is fielding down there, just had to look at it go by with a sad countenance. 6 runs. Welcome boundary that was. And Ned, who is 11 of 8, quite uncharacteristically.
Yeah, and this one was pitched wide. You just umpires just checking.
Jesus Christ, umpire, man. He back foot.
So it's 32 for 3. We are into the 5th over. So Ned is on 11. Caught Murray on 5.
Just wondering, we've got a bit of a hold up here. The umpire is checking on something we don't know what it is, but it'll soon be confirmed. Whether he stepped outside the return crease. Might be that. We're just looking at it here. Don't know if that's the subject matter. But it may well be. Because if he goes outside the return crease, will be called a no ball. It's not often, Rafael, though, that you're no ball for outside the return crease. It's not very often.
Yeah, that's yeah. You don't find that happening often. No, it's a signal a wide. So really, it was nothing about the crease, but a wide. And one would want to think that the umpires really should be in a position to determine whether the ball is wide or not. Not necessarily have to wait maybe on third umpire to determine that. It's not a difficult decision.
Yeah, and if it's deemed a wide and the umpire calls it, you know, it's called.
So one more to the score, 33, 34 for 3.
And sometimes the umpire has to say, look, I've called this, you know, and might have been marginal.
Well, maybe they are knowing that they have that option. They are really trying to be very careful. Play down to the cover fielder. They're going to come back for 2. And they're good running there by Ned. Very intent on just pushing it. Caught Murray there. And the fielder on the cover boundary had some running to do. Give them the opportunity to pick up 2.
34 and 31.
And this one just past the short third man fielder and goes down to the boundary for 4.
John moving across to his left. very quickly indeed, but the ball was traveling even quicker and was able to elude his grasp or his effort.
Yeah, and good thinking there by Cut Murray. I didn't try to do too much, but just make sure he got back onto it. And it
Played
just
it late too.
played it late. And it went past Ryan John, who was at a short third man. Square. It actually, more or less, he dived over it. And a very important boundary.
Yeah, so at the end of the halfway stage, which is 5, Clove challengers, they're 40 for 3. And we still got a match on hand here, though.
Yeah, they only require another 30 in 5 overs. But as we continue to see, the wicket column, I think, is what will be important.
You're right. They don't want to lose any more wickets from here. Clove challengers. Pacers would have other things in their mind. Duncan is going to be bowling the 6th over. And he's preparing to move into bowl to Darren Ned. Shot rising 1.
Yeah, and as you see, no rehearsed shot that should have been played there.
Ball called a wide by the umpire, and that was really wide indeed. Keeper had to stretch to his right to cut that off.
Well, this is what we have not yet seen a ball wide enough to be called a no ball, which means the ball goes off the square. What is the intention on Duncan there? Just to keep it wide, using the variation, slower delivery net, looking to reach it there. Umpire call another wide.
20 needed of 29 balls, or just about to run up a ball. Shouldn't be a very difficult assignment.
It calls for normal batting, playing each ball on its merit.
Not a white ball by Duncan, spraying it outside the off stump.
Yeah, we're hoping that that he'll be able to pull net across and maybe get an edge or a miss hit. There is cover on the boundary square. Now we see the mid off going right back to long off. The captain himself, Ryan John. It's a good stop. Again, this delivery hits straight back. Again, you're having to reach for it there. As Duncan continue to focus on that wide area outside the off stump.
And even more reason why the batsman should try to get across and cut, rather trying to reach for it and tug. You can't get much power when it's sprayed outside the off stump when you're pulling away and still trying to hit it through mid-wicket. Over number 6 in progress. The required run rate, just 5.57. So it's not challenging by any stretch of imagination.
Got a misfield there. And we would have here in the, I think that's one of the, probably the coach of the team, really giving all the advice that can give.
Yes, back in commands and admonitions. Nice shot, really nice shot. It's coming forward. Didn't look to hit the ball too hard, but just driving through the line of the ball. Murray is 12 of 8. Ned is 14 of 11. So, Raphael, it's a matter of, really, it's a matter of being astute and being wise. They don't have to be rash here at all.
Yeah, just had to be really sensible batting. You know, push it around. And I sort of like the attitude of Court Murray. He's playing the kind of role to make sure that he takes no chance. Just want to swing high, and the fielder is going to come in. Someone getting on it, and Ned, again, a poor shot, being caught in mid-wicket, and probably there's still more. There's still
life here.
A lot of life in this game. Short delivery, slow one. Again, credit to Duncan. He has been doing that from the first delivery. Just using the variation, and really he didn't get across to this one. And only succeeded in hitting it high in the air and mid-wicket, coming in and take a rather simple catch.
Yeah, that's the second catch that Kurt Murray has taken. That's Cutson Murray, beg your pardon, has taken. So he's taken 2 catches.
So 47 for 4 after 6 overs. It has become a struggle, the Clove challengers.
Yeah, 47 for 7. Javed Hassan has come out to join Kurt Murray. Oh, they're making this a difficult assignment. Or rather, if you want to put it the other way around, Cinnamon Pacers just putting the screws on, creating a difficult assignment for the challengers.
Yeah, Cinnamon Pacers really is making Clove challengers walk. And they need to work hard to get there. 4 down for 47. So 24 deliveries left. And they need 23 runs, which really should not be a difficult task.
Some strange things do happen, Rico.
Jaron Noel in his second over.
None for 15 in his first. Opened the face of the bat and glided it down to third man. Hooper came around from backward point. Covered quite some distance. Batsman got one.
So the dashing Hazard, good striker of the ball. Really would be important to see the approach he's going to take here.
By nature, he is aggressive. And would we see that sort of natural innings from him? Or would he say, look, it's an opportunity for me to take my time and orchestrate a good victory here for my team?
Obviously, a lot of adjustment in the field now. John is placing himself in first slip. We see the cover comes off the boundary, normal cover position. trying to make it really hard for Clove challengers.
Keep going, man. Let me get flat, boys.
So the long off remains, the long on, deep mid wicket remains on the boundary.
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right.
Wide delivery signal by the umpire.
Keep it in that line, Jay. Let's keep it in that line, Jay. Keep going. Well ball, Jay. Well ball, well ball, well ball.
So they can deal with singles and rotate the strike.
Straight now. You can't do that. Yeah.
Murray is 14. He's played a good role.
Go.
You could see the intent of Murray, not necessarily Raphael trying to hit the ball too hard, but trying to look for angles and turning
Wicket coming now. Wicket
the strike over.
Yeah, really he's playing a mature inning.
All right, roll on.
Again, and this is not what you want to be doing now. Gerard Noel again bowling another wide. But there's a sense of maturity in the batting of Scott Murray.
Yeah, I knew.
Extras have gone up to 7.
Well ball, Jay.
In fact, all of them have been wides.
Go ahead, keep going. All of them nervous.
7 extra deliveries to be bowled. There was a thought for 2 down to third man. But of course, the batsmen evaluating it decided against it, even though it was encouraged. So the over comes to an end. 7 overs gone. And Clove challengers, they're 53 for 4. They need a further 17 of 18 deliveries and 6 wickets intact.
Yeah, one still feels that they are in probably a better position. Just push it around, pick up the singles. It's very clear with the batting of Scott Murray. His intention really to stay there to make sure that they go all the way. So nothing rash is being tried, and there's no need. There's more balls and runs that is required. But credit to Cinnamon Pacer, they didn't make it easy. They fought. I thought that the opening spell of both of the opening bowlers was very good.
Yes. I thought they did the right thing to open with 2 experienced bowlers who have bowled pretty well in the tournament. Here's Duncan. Well, Hazard just pulled out. Maybe he wasn't quite ready. And the batsman certainly within his rights to do that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the approach of Hazard, as you said before. Attacking player. There are situations sometimes where you're attacking player that you just need to curve it a bit. I'll pick up a single.
It's about assessing the match and being able to determine what the best approach should be. If there's so many more runs required against ball, then batsmen got to be innovative and they've got to be aggressive. But when the equation is runs and balls are very similar, then there mightn't be any need for that. Rotation of strike and the odd boundaries might just be the way to go. Slow ball, it looks from here.
This one goes in the air. The catch is and dropped. What a crucial miss there. And simply he just failing to hold that catch there. And what a miss there.
Yeah, rueful miss. Yeah, he should have taken it by his standard. Oh, and they got one.
Yeah, I think he was probably seen John coming in, and probably he was maybe thinking about the closeness, and that probably would have affected him. I would think.
My philosophy is never leave it to another when you are confident that you can take it.
Lofted, this one goes, and let's see, John just going over, valiant effort by John D, but actually has gone for another car power hit.
Yeah, it looked as though he was in business. Looked as though he was in business and just, well, got it and was it and couldn't keep himself inside.
So Javed Hazard seemingly going to play as Javed Hazard knows, hit down to the cover fielder. But that 6 would have really eased the tension a big way.
Yes, 9 needed of 14. Good innings by these two. Murray 16 of 14. Hazard 10 of 6. So slow by T10 standards, but effective.
So that completes the 8 over, 62 for 4. Clove challengers need to get 70 for victory, so 12 deliveries remaining, and they need 8 runs required.
Yeah, if they need 8 runs, and for the 12, so it's under a runner ball, maybe they may think about getting a boundary.
Yeah, we do have quite a gathering here at Las Vegas. This 5th edition of the Dream 11 T10 tournament really would have created a big impact in terms of the crowd support. It's good to see that we have quite a gathering here at Las Vegas.
I've enjoyed the game.
Yeah, and they're really something that you would really enjoy today. This has been really tight, competitive. We have seen 2 catches taken today. We really would have excite you in terms of the catching.
Yeah, a couple of great catches. And there's the old cricket cliche, catches win matches. And the Clove challengers took 2 great ones and backed by some splendid overall fielding. Down to a short third man, they get a single. So Murray and Hazard doing this in a very calm, mature manner. 6 runs needed, 10 balls to get there. driven up to mid-off, fielding fumble, and they get one. Clove Challengers just closing in on victory here, but they did have some scare.
Yeah, I think they really had to dig deep. I've lost the 4 top batters as they've been left to the middle.
Yeah, they should get 2 here. They will come back for the second. The return pushes Williams back, not the best one. 67 for 4. We're over number 9. But they did have to work for it. 3 runs needed. Another over and 2 balls remaining.
Let me see, it's through it. Murray to Murray. So the twins, they know against each other in a different uniform. But a sensible batting by Court Murray. He didn't look to do too much, just steer it down to a backward point. And able to pick up 2. So doing it in singles and 2s.
Who's the older one, Refill? I was told it was Kurtzen.
Well, you probably might be right, but I'm certainly not in a position to give you the answer for that. But I know these 2 players, they are so close as twins. And they will have some debate after the game, I can tell you.
I reckon they would. And it's good when they can play against each other too.
Yeah.
$67 for 4.
Pulled over mid-wicket, down to the boundary for 4. And that's a winning run. Short delivery. And just clearing the mid-wicket fielder. And what a way to finish. Court Murray, who would have played a good inning, and his inning in the middle would have made a difference.
Yeah, well, it was Murray, bowling to Murray, and off the back foot went Kurt and pulled it through mid-wicket. Not out 23, 71 for 4. So Clove Challengers, they've won by 6 wickets. And they had some scares, admittedly, but they brought this safely home, and they could feel rather happy they're in business.
Yeah, well, they would be happy that they would have come through win, which means they're going to meet Nutmeg Warriors in the final. I'm not sure how happy they would feel in terms of their batting performance. We have seen it in the last few games that they would have played, having scores of 78, 110, and even yesterday the wickets fell rather early, and they really had to come from behind, struggle. And one would think 69 runs, more or less would have been on this pitch here, would have been easy sailing, but really it was not, and they really had to struggle until Court Murray coming in the middle there with Javed Hazard to bring them home. So I'm not so sure they're going to be too happy with the batting.
No, they're certainly not. And the players, of course, as usual, just showing fraternity and sportsmanship, something that we see after the conclusion of a game. Very good, even the officials also being involved. So Cinnamon Pacers really not giving the kind of total that they wanted. They certainly fell short. Who knows, maybe by 20, 30 runs. They obviously wanted something bigger, but couldn't. Ran John and Asif Hooper started very well. Ran picked up 2 for 9. Hooper 1 for 16, both bowling 2 overs apiece. John Noel didn't pick up any for 21, 2 overs. Jay Duncan 1 for 16 of his 2 overs. And Kurtzen Murray not for 9 of 1. Total 71 for 4, 71 for 4, and 9 overs were bowled. So they did have another 6 balls remaining. Jackson went for 11 of 5. He was disappointed, obviously. Charles didn't have the best season in front of the wicket. Leg before to John for 4. Cato didn't score. Ned had 14 of 12. Kurt Murray 23 of 19. An important knock, but maybe not good enough. Hazard was not out 12 of 8. So it was a paltry total, 71. Obviously, they were very disappointed with that. So Cinnamon Pacers dismissed for 69. Nicosi Sinclair 20, Bartholomew 19, and Noel 7. Those were the main contributors. And Clove Challengers 71 for 4, with Murray 23, Ned 14, and Hazard picked up, got 12 of 8 deliveries. 2 for 9 Ran John, Asif Hooper 1 for 16, and Che Duncan 1 for 16. So the Clove Challengers, they've won, and they've won, I would say easily, from the context that still another over had to be bowled. They won by 6 wickets with 6 balls to spare.
Yes, and looking at both teams, you look at Clove Challengers playing through this tournament, you look at Cinnamon Pacers. You know, one would have expected really at the score of 69, Clove Challengers with the sort of baton that they have, really to get that target without much struggle. But really, as I said before, Clove Cinnamon Pacers has really stepped up the game in probably the last 3 games that they would have played. And I think what would have led them off today was just the batting. They probably needed to get up to maybe even though it's 100, 110, and really could have created a big challenge for Clove Challengers, who would not have been scoring much in the last few games they would have played. And I think that was the difference. They just needed to be more runs scored by Cinnamon Pacers. And, you know, if that happened, we certainly would have probably a much closer than even as it is. With 69, you know, they still felt that they had a good chance at 25 for 3 with the 3 top batters going. But certainly, you know, Clove Challengers will be happy that they get into the finals. And they really would have to turn things around in terms of the batting if they're going to seriously challenge Nutmeg Warriors for the title.
Yeah, right. It should make a great matchup between these 2 teams who played pretty good cricket throughout the tournament. So tomorrow, God's willing, it's going to be a very big day indeed. But we can't close off, of course, without talking about 2 incredible catches in the first innings.
Yeah, and those catches made a big difference. I mean, the players that they got there, and that catch that went down to long off there, and Ned came flying across, taking it with both hands. I mean, that was from the highest level. And Court Murray at long on, he had to time that delivery, and he actually took it when it passed him. So that will make the catches so brilliant. But those 2 catches, I think, would have really been very important for Clove Challengers, so that they keep the pressure on Cinnamon Pacers. And to have dismissed them for 69, I thought that they bowl well and they feel well. So they really fought to be able to bowl them for that score of 69.
Yeah, it really was a good all-round display on the part of Clove Challengers. As you said, the catching was pretty good. Astute captaincy. And though they had a bit of a challenge coming out, 25 for 3 at one stage, they were able to come and win by 6 wickets. And of course, steadied at the end. Kurt Murray not out 23, and Hazard not out 12. They sort of steadied the ship, very well, so to speak, to ensure that the ship came to dock.
Yeah, they played an important inning at 47 for 4, and you think that we down in the middle, the last pair, and remember in that court Murray was actually dropped, so they really had to sort of dig deep this pair, and to make sure that they would have come through with a victory. Well, they are ready for us on the ground, so we now go down to Shiris for the presentation.
No, we are Ryan first. And that's all it is here at Last Suggest at the end of Qualifier 2, which saw Clove challengers booking their place for a second consecutive year in the final of the Spiceisle Dream 11 T10 competition. Here with me is Captain Ryan John, the captain of the Nawasa Cinnamon Pacers. Ryan, speak us through your team's performance today.
Must say thanks to God Almighty for being here, firstly. Obviously, it wasn't the result that we wanted, but you know how the game goes. Today up, tomorrow you're down. I just feel like our batting failed us today, but we bowling did really well. Must commend the Clove challengers. They played really well today, so they deserve the win.
Okay, and we see you lost today, results in you coming third overall on the table, a marked improvement from last year. What do you think your team did differently this year to place higher up in the points?
It was just a matter of being consistent. We had a really good bunch this year. Everybody was willing to learn, and we gelled really well. So commendable. That was commendable for us.
Okay, thank you, and all the best in the next season.
Thank you very much.
With us now we have the winning captain, Mr. Roland Cato. Roland, a second finalist spot for Clove Challengers. Walk us through your team's performance today.
I think winning the toss and sending the guys into bat and bowling them down for 70-something, you can't ask for nothing better, I think that the guys go there and they stick to the plan, and we end up bowling well, so here's our real fixtures today.
Okay, and last year finals, we saw you come up. We saw the Clove Challengers come up against the Nutmeg Warriors, and they got the better of you last year. What sort of adjustments can we expect tomorrow for a different outcome?
Last year I was on the Nutmeg, so this year I'm on Clove. So a while ago Fletcher just walked past me and had a big smile on his face. So tomorrow is just about coming out and having fun, trying to do the basics better than them, put the ball in the right areas and stick to our plan.
Okay, thank you very much and congratulations once again. We now move to the post-match presentations for the outstanding performances today. First off, we have the Carib Power Hitter, which goes to Mr. Nkosi Saint-Hilaire from the Nawasa Cinnamon Pacers. He hit the most sixes in today's encounter. Up next, we would have the Man of the Match and the Global Services Inc. Impact Player Award, and that goes to Mr. Kurt Murray from the Clove Challengers. Okay, Kurt, a very important game for your team today, and you came up trumps for them. Walk us through your performance.
I mean, the bowling, we just had a plan and I stuck to it and then I execute and it worked out for my team and we end up winning.
And well, I think everyone who watched today's match wants to know, how did you pull off that catch?
I mean, I still misjudged it, but it stuck in my hands, so I'm grateful for it.
Okay, and tomorrow we will see you feature again with the Clove Challengers for the final of this year's Dream 11 T10. What can we expect from you and Clove Challengers tomorrow?
I mean, same thing. I've been doing good with the ball and with the bat, so it's just sticking to it and yeah, we will win.
All right, all the best and congratulations once again. Thanks. And that is the end of the qualifier 2, which sees the Clove Challengers booking their place in tomorrow's final at 2:30 p.m. against the Nutmeg Warriors. Back up to you in commentary.
charge up. West Indies going high.